Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. For those who are new, we have our dedicated themes days that are Security Tuesdays, Data Science and AI Wednesdays, and Cloud Native and Red Hat OpenShift Thursdays. That is today. So, welcome to our Cloud Native and Red Hat OpenShift Thursday. My name is Asna Javed, and I'm a lead developer advocate at IBM Pakistan. Today, I have my colleague Fawaz Siddiqui with me, who's a developer advocate at IBM UAE. Today's topic is Call for Code, build a water quality dashboard with GeoJSON and Node-RED. So, before we start, here is a short survey link that we would want you all to fill and let us know how we can improve ourselves for future webinars and workshops, and how was this session helpful to you or not. So please don't forget to fill the survey link, and I will be sharing that with you in the chat as well. Moving further, today we're gonna do a hands-on workshop. So these are few of the resource links that you will be needing. Pardon me, I have a cough today. So you need to log in or sign up for IBM Cloud account. If you're new to IBM Cloud, you would need this link to sign up. And if you already have an IBM Cloud account, kindly use this link to log in. We will also have the hands-on guide for you, and we'll be sharing the presentation slides with you at the end of the session. So, moving further, what we are going to do today is we're going to talk about call for code, because as the topic of today's workshop says, call for code. So yeah, we'll be talking about what call for code is. We'll be also discussing clean water and sanitization. We'll be talking about a organization called Charity Water, who are our supporters this year for call for code. Um, we'll be going through Node-RED because it's a hands-on workshop, and we'll be using Node-RED to create a solution for today's workshop. So we'll be talking about Node-RED, what it is. We'll be giving you a technical overview of Node-RED. We'll also talk about GeoJSON, and then we'll move on to hands-on. Let's, for those of you who are new to Cloudcast, here are some of the tips and tricks that you can use. If you go to bottom right, you can use this icon for chatting with us and let us know if you have any questions. You can ask the question in Ask a Question box, because sometimes your question might get lost in the chat and we are unable to answer. So it's easy for us to use Ask a Question. Also, again, if you're new, follow us on IBM Developer for upcoming events and workshops. And to know more details about today's session, just go and click on this link and you can get to know more details. And also the workshop resources will be available here. You can see a green icon that says get started, or maybe it would say workshop resources. So just go and click on that so you can follow us along. So without further ado, let's talk about what is Call for Code, right? So Call for Code is basically a global initiative for developers and problem solvers from around the world, so that they can build and contribute to open source and sustainable software solutions that can address social and humanitarian issues, right? And it is basically the largest tech for good challenge. Why you should be joining Call for Code? Because it helps you with skill building. Again, it is for social good. Your ideas are brought to action, and you get to be a part of a community of more than 400,000 developers, right? And they're from across the world, from more than 179 nations. And other than that, for so far there have been 15,000 and counting applications developed as a result of Call for Code. So you guys should definitely join this. Call for Code was founded by David Clark Cause, and IBM is the founding partner. And we also have United Nations Human Rights with us as the charitable partner, and the Linux Foundation helps with the program affiliation. And the winner will receive 200,000 US dollars, and these are the global winners. We also have the regional winners, and each regional winner receives 5,000 US dollars. And other than that, obviously, your solution, it's not just your average hackathon. Your solution actually gets deployed with the help of the Linux Foundation. So it is like a great opportunity for you and other young developers and enthusiasts who want to make a change in the world. So guys, go ahead and apply for Call for Code. and I'm pretty sure that you guys are interested, and that's why you joined us today. So let's make a difference in the world. Moving further, this year's call for code is focusing on climate change, and because our climate is so rapidly changing that we don't even realize this, but it is the ozone layer is depleting, our climate is changing, environment is changing, and this is an alarming situation. This year, Call for Code is focusing on three sub themes. The first of them is clean water and sanitation, and for today's webinar, our focus is on clean water and sanitation. By the way, we will be conducting feature webinars, workshops on these different technologies and different themes. So if you're interested in any of other themes, do make sure that you join us on these theme days. So today we'll be talking about clean water and sanitation. As I said, water it's a natural resource, right? And it is most threatened by climate change. There are a lot of people around the world who don't even get clean drinking water to drink, and which is really, really sad and alarming. We also, but definitely technology can make a significant impact on the availability of water and its consumption. The second theme is zero hunger. It's like reaching out to zero hunger. So there are 135 million people who suffer from acute hunger, with climate change a major contributing factor. So because of the climate change, a very common example is that now the whole flooding, occurs, and all the crops are ruined. So it is basically, contributing towards the scarce food availability, and people are starving or having acute hunger because of these very alarming situations. So zero hunger is one of the themes that we are trying to focus on in this year's call for code, to create solutions that help people with food and technology, to help grow crops in the areas on the edge of drought. So this is a focus area as well. And the last focus area for this year is responsible production and consumption. So worldwide consumption and production drives the global economy, yet is inextricably linked to the environment, right? Technology can help make recommendations on energy efficient to highlighting the carbon footprint of online purchases. So basically what's happening, just think about it. We are taking down so many trees across the world to, get things done. And if you don't look at it, we're actually contributing towards greenhouse gases and carbon emission, because with less trees means more carbon dioxide in the environment, and we're indirectly damaging the environment. So, and also if you look at your electronics, there are so many things that are created, and you cannot reuse them, or reutilize them. So these are the things that we need to think about while developing electronic products for our communications and for our environment. So these are the things that we should need to focus on. So moving further, today we're going to talk about clean water and sanitation. So according to World Health Organization, 2.2 billion people don't have safely managed drinking water services. Wow, 2.2 billion people don't have a safe water. Just think about it. I would want you all to take a moment and think about it, that for one day, if you don't get to drink the clean water, how would you feel? Imagine all those 2.2 billion people who do not get to drink safe or clean water, and they're drinking water from swamps and different ponds that are full of insects. So this is really an alarming situation, and it is something that we as people, as developers, should think about and try to solve this issue. 4.2 billion people don't have safely managed sanitation services, and 3 billion people lack basic hand washing facilities. And we imagine why these pandemics, they outbreaks, and they're not getting over. For example, just COVID, and one of the most important things to avoid getting coronavirus is to wash your hands. And 3 billion people around the world don't even have that facility to wash their hands. How can they save themselves from coronavirus? Just think about these things for a moment. We who are privileged, or we who people who have this ability to make a difference, should think about these issues and try to change them and fix them, provide solutions with the technology uh, for all these people to make a difference in their lives. So from intelligent solutions for small farmers to recycling showers, technology can make a significant impact, and I totally agree with that. And it for the availability of water and its consumption. You can obviously go and look at more details here, but we're talking about it, and we'll be showing you how what solutions you can build and jumpstart with those solutions that you can use to address the water and sanitation issues. Moving further, one of our supporters for this year's call for vote is Charity Water. Charity Water is a non-profit organization which is bringing clean water and safe drinking water to people in developing countries. So basically, yeah, so this is what they're trying to do. Before going further, I want to show you guys a quick video. And Fawaz, do let me know if you can hear the sound.
And as I would travel around these villages, I would see the most shocking things.
475 people living here. And this is what they're drinking. You can see there's bugs crawling around in it.
I'm sort of putting this together saying, look, thousands of people are turning up sick, and the most basic need for health isn't even met. It wasn't okay. Kids shouldn't be drinking from scummy swamps or ponds or rivers. He came here to fetch water?
Yeah.
And a crocodile
fell into the river.
And a crocodile snatched him.
Disappeared. Not even our body was not even found.
There were so many diseases caused by bad water. Cholera, dysentery, trachoma, bilharzia, things I'd never even heard of. On top of that, I found out people weren't just drinking this filthy water, they were breaking their backs to get it. Women and girls are usually the ones responsible, often walking for hours every day. As a result, many girls never make it through school. They trade in their education and dreams to carry 40-pound jerry cans so their families can have water. Dirty water is responsible for more death in the world than all forms of violence, including war. Even if it were 1 million people, this would be a crisis. But it's not 1 million. It's 663 million people that live on our planet right now without access to clean water. That's twice the population of the United States. Nearly 1 in 10 people worldwide. Behind those statistics were real lives, people who were dying because they couldn't get clean water. And many of them were children.
So guys, that's like a short video. You guys can go and watch the entire video, and we'll be sharing the link with you. So why are we talking about clean water? Like, why is Charity Water working towards the clean water, and what are the reasons why we were talking about this today? Because clean water changes everything. For example, if health, the diseases from dirty water kill more people every year than all forms of the violence, including war. Just think about it. 43% of those deaths are children under 5 years old. So there are children under 5-year-old who don't even know what's going on or what was their fault. Just because they did not get clean water, they don't have a chance to survive in this world. And that gave me a goosebumps. I think you guys feel the same way for this. And to access, clean water and basic sanitation can save around 16,000 lives every week. Just think about it. Every week, 16,000 lives. In Africa alone, women spend 40 billion hours a year walking to water. So they don't even have the access to water, and they spend 40 billion hours every year just so to go towards water and get the water and come back. So it saves time, and clean water can actually give education to people, right? Especially young girls, because they will spend less time in collecting the water, and which means they get more time to spend in actual schools and in classrooms, right? So these are like few of the things or few of the uh, issues, and the reason behind this clean water and sanitation theme was that we need to think about it. We need to think out of the box. We need to find solutions for around the world. And as I said that as developers, we can use technology for good and we can use it to make a difference. Let's move further. So today we're gonna do a hands-on workshop where we're gonna create a water dashboard, right? And how we're gonna do is we're gonna use Node-RED, and this is like an architect. What we'll be doing today, we're gonna use the Node-RED, and then we're gonna use Watershed API as well as WaterScore API, and we'll be creating the dashboard. So before getting into the details and jumping on to the hands-on, let's talk about Node-RED. What is Node-RED? So Node-RED is basically a visual programming tool, and it can be used to wire together hardware devices or APIs, right? For with IBM Cloud or so. Why exactly are we using Node-RED? Now we're talking about the water. So definitely a solution for clean water should be something, could be something related to IoT, right? Where we can measure the water density or how clean the water is. We can talk about these things, right? So we can use Node-RED to develop a solution like we're going to do in today's workshop that will help with water and sanitation. So moving further, this is basically how Node-RED looks. It's the browser-based flow editing. It's like a browser-based flow, right? Flow chart editor, and it provides you basically just drag and drop. You can just drag and drop from the Node palette and create your flows, and your solution can be up and running within minutes. So it just you need single deployment click, and that's it. So moving further, you can also install and run Node-RED locally on your personal computers. You can install it on a device or in the cloud. So today we are going to use it on the cloud, IBM Cloud Platform. But if you want to go further, or your solution needs, if it's getting bigger, you can, if you and you want to involve other devices like some hardware devices, it can also be installed on that. All right, let's just talk a little bit about the technical overview. So there are three main things that we need to keep in mind. We need to keep in mind about the Node-RED. So the first one is flows, right? A flow is basically a collection of nodes that are wired together. And what is a node? A node can help multiple output ports, and a single port can have multiple wired connections. So it's basically a flow diagram. We all understand what is a flow. Like there's a start, there's an end, and this the entire flow is created by the nodes. And nodes could be your multiple input output ports. They're wired together, and nodes do different things. The flow is basically stored in a JSON object, right? And it provides the configuration for all its nodes and how they're connected. So the flow JSON can be imported and exported between Node-RED instances, making it easy to share. So for example, you created a flow or you created a solution. A flow could be of anything. And then you want to share that with someone else, you can actually import and export these nodes, these flows. All right, so again, let's talk a little bit more about nodes. So nodes are the basic building blocks of the flow. So this is basically a node, if you can see here, and this is a node. Nodes that sit at the start of the flow will be waiting for some external event to occur. So basically, the first node needs some trigger or some something to start for it to start. So it will be waiting for something. For example, we have a sensor node at the beginning. So if it's gonna sense something, the node will input, and the whole flow will start working. So yeah, it needs something. Such as an incoming HTTP request, maybe an HTTP request, maybe a timer or a hardware input event. The one that I gave you an example of a sensor. It can also be an HTTPS request. For example, someone went to your website or your application, and they get an HTTPS request. Okay, so then what happens that they pass messages onto the nodes that they are connected. All right, and then nodes receive those messages to do some work and then pass them down to the flow. So you get a request, then they say pass those messages, it goes further, and so on and so forth, and that's how your flow works. I hope that explains things in details. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. If something is not clear, let me know, and I'll be able to repeat that for you. Then what are messages, right? So we talked about the flow, we talked about nodes, and now we are talking about the messages. So the messages that are passed through a flow are JavaScript objects. All right. So here you can say it's a topic that is weather and UK and payload is sunny, right? By convention, they will have a payload property that contains the interesting information, right? So this payload property contains the information that the weather in UK is sunny today. All right. I hope now it makes sense to you. This is the property most nodes will operate on by default. So by default, they will have a payload, and Fawaz is going to show you guys in detail what payload is and where it is and how you can access it. So he'll be going into details of that when we will be doing the hands-on. Let's talk about GeoJSON. Why I'm talking about GeoJSON, because this is one of the services that we are using today in our hands-on workshop. So GeoJSON basically is a format for encoding a variety of geographic data structures, right? It can be, it can define a polygon which will render an area map of a town, country, or state, for example. So like this is like an example of a GeoJSON. It gives you an area of a country on a map, right? So this is what it is doing. Why are we doing it? Like amongst its many uses, it can define the topographical boundary of a watershed, right? So probably this might be a place which is like having less water or is at the danger of having drought. So this is like GeoJSON can help us to identify that area, map it out, and let whatever, like for example, we're working with an organization. We created this application for an organization where we are helping them out identifying the areas that have scarce water, or they have very low water availability, or they don't have clean water available. So this GeoJSON can help in those things. Yeah, so I hope this clarifies a lot of things to you guys. So now we are going to move on to the hands-on part, and I am going to stop sharing and over to you, Fawaz.
Hello, hey everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on which part of the world you're joining us from. Really happy that we are here today, and you all are very interested about this very serious topic which we have. So today we have a really interesting hands-on, and we're going to use Node-RED and two APIs to get data from there and basically plot it into a dashboard. There are three links which I will post right now in the chat. You can log in and sign up for IBM Cloud. Once you follow that link, it'll take you to the golf code page. Just log in, and then you can go to cloud.ibm.com, and basically from there we can access the IBM Cloud. In case you are looking for the hands-on guide, we do have a proper guide for you, which you can follow. It's on NR Clean Water -guide, and you can follow that link as well. In case you want to refer back to these slides, you can 100% go back to NR Clean Water -slides. So what's our use case today? When it comes to our project, it's very interesting. So when it comes to Earth itself, there are various watersheds. Now, every watershed has a particular type of water, and at this point, we are at the epitome of global warming, and we are at the epitome of also polluting our water, and that's very essential, and that's why people are also suffering. And basically, we are going to mark out various watersheds in the geography of Ridgewood in the United States. And basically from there, we're going to use an API from Aquagenity. I'll come to the APIs as well. But we're going to see the toxin report from each and every from a particular zip code in Ridgewood, and basically from there we're going to get the water index, and we're going to see that if the water is safe or not at that zip code. And if the toxins exceed EPA limits, the table will highlight it in red. And you must be wondering, how does it exactly look like? And okay, before even that, we'll go for the architecture. So our architecture would be very simple. Us as the user or as the developers, we are going to program Node-RED, where it's going to get data from the USGS watershed API, okay, and the Aquagenity API. So USGS is the United States Geographical Survey, and they have a lot of free APIs which people can use to actually mark data, and that is the GeoJSON part here. They are the ones who are giving us GeoJSON data. And when it comes to the Aquagenity get data score, it's basically getting a water score for the zip code which you provided. You can obviously change this to your region as well by providing a GeoJSON data from your region. But at the same time, what you need to be careful about is how you are going to tackle the problem of getting the get water score for your region as well. That's that because Aquagenity is usually covering the United States, and we are talking about the United States here. Now, as the final output, it'll be the dashboard, and what the dashboard would look like is something like this. So we see that this is the Ridgewood Water Basin, and from there we are marking 3 water basins right there. Okay, there's the Hocus Brook Water Basin, there's the Saddle River Water Basin as well, and from there we are going to enter a zip code, and it's going to mark and it's going to show us the toxins which are there in that particular area, and as you can see, it's highlighting them red. So let's get started with building this. Let me just share my screen. Let me get my so the first thing what's going to happen here is you need to log in or sign in to IBM Cloud, and when you follow the link which Asna has just shared in the chat, you'll be taken to such a page which will look like this, and you can, let me just zoom in a bit. Yep. You can enter your email and give it a password. You'll be able, and you'll have to verify email and then your personal information, and right away your account is created and you're ready to go. It's very quick, very fast, and it's very easy as well and super helpful. So we'll wait for 3 minutes for you to create your account, and then once you've created your account, I would ask you to go to cloud.ibm.com. So that's cloud.ibm.com or you can log in from the link as well. But in case you don't get a login option, you can go to cloud.ibm.com and you can log in from there. So we'll wait for another 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, and we can start.
Guys, if you don't have an IBM Cloud account already, kindly use the link that I provided in the chat to create an account. And if you already have an account, please use the link to sign in so we can start with the hands-on. We're going to wait for a couple of minutes. So do let us know in the chat if you are on the same page with us. Also, why is our audience so quiet today? Let's be more talkative and chatty here in the chat, guys.
It's certainly very quiet today. All right, if you've created the account, just go ahead with logging in, and let us know if you are able to create the account. Yeah. Finally, we see some people talking. Hey, everyone.
So if you already have an account, that I see someone is already saying that they already have an account, please use this link to sign in to your account. This link is not gonna track you, or not gonna take any of your personal information. It's just for our own understanding how successful the workshop was. So kindly do this, so it will be very helpful for us. Thank you.
We'll start in exactly 1 minute. All right. In case you have an account, you can just log in from here. Yeah. Rather than going to the other link, you can just click on already have an account, and you can just directly log in. If you don't, you can just create an account and log in as well. It's right here. All right, so let's get started. I hope everyone is ready. If it's a yes, then we can start. And or else, do you all want me to wait for a bit more? Okay, no response, so we'll continue. Okay, so you can just click login here. Already have an IBM Cloud account. You can just click on the login, and you can go ahead and log in. So once you log in into IBM Cloud, you're going to see a dashboard. And let me close that. And you're going to see such dashboard. And basically here you can here you can create your services. You can see your resource summary. You can see various. Excuse the error on my screen. There's something on with my account, but yeah, you can completely ignore that. It won't be happening with you. But basically, you can see different services which we have, and you can go to the catalog to actually try out different services which we provide in terms of AI databases, compute services, and our OpenShift and Kubernetes offerings as well. So as for today, we are going to do three things here. We're going to deploy the Node-RED application, okay, and we're going to attach our Aquageminity the API in Node-RED. The USGS is already programmed, so you really don't have to do anything, and we're going to activate the Node-RED flow. First things first, I would like you to go to Manage and go to Account. So this is on the top right in the middle almost, and you need to click on Cloud Foundry orgs. And you should be seeing your email here. And once you see that, you can actually, if you don't have a space, create a space. And mine, it was created back in 2018, but you can add a space if you don't have any one, and just name it and keep it at any region. But make sure when this region is somewhere close to you, you're even free to choose any region that you like, to be very honest. But yeah. So once you create this, once you've added the space, so basically a space is what holds all your applications together. And that's what we are creating right now. So once you've created the space, you should be good to go. You can give it any name. My name is, for my space, it's dev, and it's located in the United Kingdom. So the next step would be to search for Node-RED. And you should see a Node-RED app in the catalog results. You're going to click that. And you are going to go on the Create tab. And you can rename your app, basically. So I'm going to call it Clean Water Node-RED. Okay. And you can keep the resource group default. You can create the cloud and service in. So as you saw that we created the space in the United Kingdom, in my case. So make sure you also select the United Kingdom, country in United Kingdom, so a city in United Kingdom. Sorry about that. So you can select London, and this will go to the United Kingdom servers. So we have selected London. We have named our application. Just to review, just search Node-RED here, and you can go to the Create tab, and you should see this page, and you can rename your app. You can create. You will have to create a cloud and service, and you can just create one in London, or depending on whichever region your space is in, and you can click on Create. So it's going to create an app. It'll show up like this. And let's wait for it for a bit of a while. It's just provisioning our cloud and service right here. And then we are going to create a tool chain for it. Let's give it a second, and it should work. So this may take a while, but okay, yeah, it's done. So once you are done with this part, okay, you need to click on Deploy Your App. So once CloudInt is done, you're going to deploy your app. So you're going to click on Deploy App. Very simple here. You're going to select Cloud Foundry. You're going to click on New IBM Cloud API Key, and it will create an API key for you. And that's done. The next thing you're going to do is select your region. So our region space was in London, or so we're going to select London, and it's going to give me my organization, which was my own email and my space. And after that, it's going to validate my host name. So basically, all you have to do here is click on Deploy Your App, select Cloud Foundry, create the API key, make the region as London, select the organization. The space it's obviously automatically selected, and you can change the domain if you like. I'm just going to stay here, and Clean Water Node-RED is the same one, and you're going to click on Next. And it's going to ask you for a DevOps toolchain name. Change the region here to London as well, so make sure everything is running in one region, and you're going to click on Create. So now it's generating the code to actually deploy your Node-RED application. So let's wait for that. And I will show you the toolchain as well. So toolchain is our basically the CI/CD. Okay, there has been some issue. Let me try to do it again. My account is very unstable, so I do apologize for that. Let me just do it to London. Either way, it'll work fine for you, y'all, because you already have a new account. Mine is pretty old, so it's been happening with me since a while. So yeah, and you can click, yeah, okay, that's done. And here I'm gonna select London and I'm gonna click create. Let's see what happens now. Should work. Okay, it seems to be working now. Yep, there you go. We have the DevOps toolchain up and running. So there are some delivery pipelines which are registered when we look at this page. Yeah. So I'm going to open that. You can just click on the PR pipeline name and it'll take you here. And excuse me. Okay. So what it's doing is it's basically a stage by stage display of how your tool chain is going to happen. And basically, let me just okay. Let me try to. Something's wrong with my account. Just give me a second, please. Okay, it's starting its pipelines and everything now. And let me see what's going on here. Okay, so there's something wrong with my account, but anyways, once this has passed, everything has passed here. Okay, I'm going to show you an instance which is already running for me. It usually takes around 5 minutes to deploy this whole thing, and once from there, let me try to disconnect the toolchain and we can retry it again. Just give me a second. Cloud Foundry, new one, or else I'm just going to go to the existing instance and I can show you how it works. So London, I'm going to select the right name. Okay, and that's done. Yeah, so John, you the same link will be, you can just come on the same link where you are right now, and you should be able to watch the replay. But either ways, you can select London and let's try it again. Okay, something's wrong with my account, but I will show you on how it looks like once you've deployed it. So give me 1 second and I will show you. Okay, so where is my service? All right, so I will show you a completed instance, which is already complete, and you can have a look here and we can work on that one. So basically, your CI pipeline will be a success. Okay, I'm not going to dive into the pipeline again, but you can find your app URL right here on the top right. So mine is Node-RED FAS -FAS US and yada yada yada. But basically, you can just go on the same link, and basically from there you can just get the link and you can initiate and create your account on Node-RED. You don't have to give any email or anything, but you can just set a username and password just for your security here. So what's the next step? Basically, we will be importing a flow, and it'll be looking something like this. So what would I like you to do here is to go to the guide, which I have. I'm going to give the hands-on guide link in the chat now. And once you open it, okay, sorry. I copied the wrong part. Okay. Once you open it, it'll take you to a GitHub repository. So once you're at the GitHub repository, what I would like you to do is I would like you to click on code, and I would like you to download it as zip, or you can clone it as well. Up to you. I would suggest zip. And you can also click on the workshop resources button right there to actually get to the guide as well, and just download it. So I have attached the Ridgewood flow in a, it's called the Ridgewood flow. It's in the flows folder. So if you go to the flows directory, you should see our RWD and J watershed. So the next part, so we are almost 50% done here. So what you're going to do at this point is you're going to import a flow, okay? And to do that, you're going to click on import. And you can either place or select the file to import. So this, let me zoom in a bit. Let me see. Okay, it's just zooming in on that. Just give me a second. Okay. It's just zooming in on the flow, which I have already imported, but I will tell you, if you go to the top right, let me just move this out of the way. Yeah. When you go to the top right, you'll see a hamburger menu. You can click on that, and you can click on import, and basically from there,
Fawad, can you zoom in a little bit?
on Node-RED, this is the max it's going. Okay, now it's going fine. Yeah, but it's messing up things. But yeah, sure. So so I can select the file which is in the flows folder already. So I will go here, and I will select the file. I will click on. I'm gonna. Okay, yeah. First of all, click and make sure you import it to a new flow, and you can select the JSON file, and you can click on import. Exists in your workspace, you can just say import copy, basically. So it's basically imported at this point. So it's called, basically, this is what's going to be imported at this point. Excuse me. And what you need to do after this is that now we have, I'll run you through the flow actually first. So we are going to show Ridgewood. We are going to show the water basins which are involved here. And we have the Saddle River water basin, and we have the aquagenity params as well. And basically from here, we are going to get the water score and put it up into a water map. So when it comes to data of water basins, it's coming in from the USGS APIs. And as you can see, we have given various APIs here, and we've given a GET request on certain URLs or endpoints, basically, to actually get those and mark them. Okay. Then the second part would be the aquagenity params. So aquagenity is is basically giving us the water score here. So you need to register for the aquagenity developer account. So it's very simple, very easy. You just need to go to aquagenity.com/developer. I'll also go with you, so I'll let you know how you can go ahead and tackle this. So you need to select the free plan, and you just need to sign up. It's very quick, very simple, and you'll get an email in the next literally 2 minutes. And once we're gonna wait for 2 minutes as well, and basically after that we are going to continue. So please do register at aquagenity.com/developer. Link is posted, and we will continue the same. If you have created the account, just say a yes in the chat, and we can continue with, and I'll let you know where to put in the Aquagenity params as well. All right, we have one yes. All right, we have another yes. So we will give it one more minute and we can continue. Okay, many people are getting through. So you have the Node-RED flow, okay? You have the API key from Aquagenity. Very simple next steps, okay? I'm going to go through that in just a minute. And we can continue from there. Just all right. So continue. Let's continue. Now, when you go to the bottom of your flow, okay, you will see Aquagenity params. So we're going to double click that, and you will see username and password. And I'm 100% sure if you sign up for the developer account, you got the username and password. So you will select the username, which is given to you, and paste it in the username within the quotes, please. And you're going to select the password, which is sent to you, and you're going to paste it in the password. Okay, you're going to click on done. So right now, our map will not be running, okay, because we haven't deployed it yet, but there's also one thing. Our payload is actually disabled. So we're going to click on the first node, which is literally on the top left. And you're going to change this to true from false. So message.payload is going to be turned into true. You're going to click on done. Okay, you're going to click on deploy. Let's wait for it to deploy. It's successfully deployed at this point. So deploy. Once you double click here, you're going to select message.payload. This will be by default into false. You need to change it to true. You're going to click on done, and you're going to click on deploy. So at this point, your flow is running, okay? And as you can see, we can see all the nodes are on, unlike the previous one where it was false. And we can see your dashboard. So now there are two ways you can access your dashboard. Either you can go on the top right, there's an arrow right under the hamburger menu, and you can click on dashboard, okay? And you can click on this hyperlink right here. Once you click on that, it will open this page. Or the other way, which I use it basically for myself, it's going to be, for me, the reason is I can just disable this. Just wait, let me make it easier for everyone. Just give me a second. Since I have two flows running, it's going to show me that. Let me just close that for you as well. So let me close this one and deploy. So let me refresh. Okay. So this was the flow. And I can just push it and let's see if it's running. Okay. So let me push. And once you push the payload, you should see something here. For me, it's not loading. I think my internet is messing up again. Just give me a second. Let me go back to the old flow, which I have. So other ways to access your dashboard is very simple. You can just go to your Node-RED flow URL and /UI, basically. So the reason why it's getting messed up right now, it's because I am in Zoom mode, but if I minus it, yep, we are here. So, so basically, I'm just going to attach my Aquagenity params again. Give me a second. There you go. And you can enter the password. Okay. Username is there. Password is there. Done. You can click on deploy. So at this point, we have the UI ready. Okay. I'm going to push in the first payload, which is from the USGS department, and that's going to mark our water basins. So as you can see now, we have marked the water basins, and basically it's showing us where the water is coming from, and based on each and every water basin which we have programmed in our Node-RED flow. The next part is we are going to inject the zip code into Aquagenity to get the water score. So we have an inject node right here, and basically from there it will give us the water score. But you can also write your zip code right here. That's also going to work, but I'm just going to inject it from here basically. So once we inject the zip code, and you should see it's going to mark the zip code, and it starts giving us the toxin level in that particular area, and that basically falls in under Ridgewood. And as you can see, there are two water basins which are incoming from there, or actually one, which is the Saddle River Water Basin. And what can we find here? We can find that there's nitrite in the water, there's chromium in the water, there's selenium, arsenic. Arsenic is very harmful for us as well, radium, and all of these. So it's basically marking the toxins, making sure that if the water is safe or not. And this also will help the authorities to actually adjust according to that, to make sure that their water purifying systems are working fine, and basically giving us a cleaner water to drink at home. You can 100% change this towards your region as well. You just need to find an API which is providing your region. The USGS and Aquagenity APIs are for the US, and that's why this example is based in the US. In case you are stuck, please do feel free to leave a question in the chat. But anyways, so as you can see, we finally have a result on what we've done. So just to let you go through the Node-RED application, what we did here was just click on the Aquagenity params. We added our username, password, clicked on done. And when we went on top, this was by this was false by default. We changed it to true. We clicked on done. We clicked on deploy. The first thing we did was click on the payload right here. So that got posted into our dashboard. The first thing we saw were the water basins. The next part would be clicking the zip code, injecting the zip code, and getting the data for that particular zip code here. We can change the zip code, and you can try out different zip codes within Ridgewood. And basically, from there, you can play around with the solution and try out different things. So this is just like a starter. So at this point, we are done with our hands-on, and let's summarize it basically. So the first thing which we did was to deploy the Node-RED starter application on IBM Cloud. Once that was deployed, we imported the flow, which was included in the repository, which I gave you. From there, we added the Aquagenity username and password. Right after that, we injected the USGS data onto the flow to plot the watersheds, which we have in Ridgewood. And right after that, we injected the zip code in the Aquagenity params node, which is at the bottom of the flow. And right after that, we went to the UI slash or the dashboard, basically, which highlights all of these things. And you can access the, like I mentioned, you can access the UI by two ways. You can go to the bottom. You can go to the. You can go to this arrow right here. You can click on dashboard, and you can click on the hyperlink here, and it'll take you to the dashboard or your Node-RED URL /UI to see this dashboard, basically. So some resources for you for Call for Code. You can go to and get more information about Call for Code at the Call for Code main page, which is ibm.biz/Call for Code. You can also check our FAQs. Now, when it's pertaining to the starter kits, we also have an upcoming event with one of our colleagues, Opkar, and we are diving into various other starter kits as well. And and the event will be mentioned in your follow-up email. So you can go ahead and register for that event as well. It's very interesting. He's going to go through zero hunger, clean water and sanitation, and also responsible production and green consumption. And we also have the university event today, almost an hour after this, or I think 45 minutes after this. It's happening exactly at 4:30 p.m. GST, which is the Gulf Standard Time. You can join in there. There's going to be some really, really cool speakers there. We have professors from university speaking there, and you're certainly going to enjoy this. Please do come for that, and we have also added that to the follow-up email. So in case you can find it, you cannot find it, you'll find it there, and we've also posted the link in the chat. In case you have any questions about Call for Code, and you can reach out to us in two ways. First is every Monday we have office hours from 2 to 3 p.m. GST, and you can also reach us at Slack. So last but not least, please do fill up the survey. It really helps us to know how we performed and how can we actually make ourselves better. And it gives us, and also you can give us topics which we are interested in learning about, and we can help, and we can basically adjust to that and show you various use cases based on that. And that's it for today. Thank you so much. With me, I had Asna Javed, and my name is Fawaz Siddiqui. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn. Our LinkedIn profiles are here, and or also on Twitter. Twitter is also there, or also an email. Really depends on what you are comfortable with. Thank you so much for joining us today. I will be posting all the resources for the workshop, in the chat, and also our contact details if you like. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. I just want to add one last thing here. The workshop today that we conducted is not your solution. It is just a way for you to get started. These are pre-built examples that are there to give you a better idea how you can use a water quality dashboard and how you can use GeoJSON. So when you're submitting your solutions, make sure that this is not your solution. This was basically an example, a sample application that is there to assist. Because last year there were some of the submissions where people got confused and they thought that these starter kits are basically the solution that they have to submit. So I'm repeating it again. This workshop was not a solution. It was just to show you how you can create your own solution with this sample example. So I hope that's clarified, and thank you so much again for joining us today. Thank you, Fawaz. And that's it. If you have any last question, do ask us before we wrap up. And also, guys, we are having a university event, and if you are from university, please join us at 4:30 p.m. Dubai time. That is exactly after an hour and a half. For to know more how you can, as a university student, participate for Call for Code and how you can join. So thank you so much.